So, guys, first match of the day, round of 16 here, the Go4Heroes Americas. I don't know why I was going to say that. Go for America, guys. The round of 16 game, Barrel Boys and Team Heroes Hype. I say, let's get right to it.
Indeed, we've got a ban on Chen coming out from Haku's Team Heroes Hype, and we have a ban on Tassadar from Barrel Boys, which I think is how you have to say it every time, because that's how they spell it out. They do the
Heroes
the
Hype
B
got
and,
first, did they?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
Now let's talk about the map. We're on Cursed Hollow, of course, which is going to be really important to remember what kind of composition is going to work really well for not only split pushing, but also getting those tributes. Tributes, of course, lead to curses. Curses then stop all the forts as well as the towers from doing any damage and make all of the creeps at 1 health. So it's a pretty decent map objective that you have to really be careful for. So we're going to be seeing what type of compositions coming out here are going to be really playing around the map and making sure you get those tributes, or possibly completely bypassing them. We've seen that before too sometimes. It's a little weird.
Well, I mean, if you have a way to end the game,
yeah,
just go for it. Like we've seen, I like to characterize every matchup here for Cursed Hollow into 3 kind of categories. It's either the big steamroll, which you're going to win by the first curse.
Yeah.
Something a bit more in the middle. So it's usually, it might not be like a 3-0, it might be a 2-1 and then a 2-2. And then maybe we're going to get a curse. That's going to typically end under 20. But more often for for curse, I've noticed we've actually gotten some longer games on average now.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's a little bit difficult to actually end the game. Getting the grave golems and everything can kind of like stick one team in the base, and being so defensive, it can actually lead out to being a longer game, especially with how the core changes happen too. A lot of games in Cursed Hollow already kind of started to go on the longer side, but now it seems like we're going past 20 minutes all the time. We've got a couple more picks coming out here. Heroes Hype has first picked Nazebo, the Witch Doctor. Oh my god!
I'm not gonna try doing that sound effect.
There's one where I swear to God, he says human flesh. It's so weird. He's such an interesting.
Are they cannibals?
guy.
I've never heard that they're cannibals.
I don't think they're cannibals, but they
might
be. And then coming out from Barrel Boys, we have Stitches and Zeratul. Zeratul spelled with an X.
That's like his new crossover skin, where he has like, instead of a Z, it's an X. It's one of those weird universes.
So, yeah, that's going to be a pretty good start already. Zeratul, we've seen Void Prisons come down and block out enemy teams from stopping the tribute channel, and especially because now it got changed from 7-second channel to 6 seconds. That's actually a major thing, is to get that Void Prison down to get that tribute, and sometimes that can be used pivotally during the second, or channeling for the 3rd tribute to get that curse.
Yeah, definitely. And there's a lot of pinch points out there as well, especially if you do get that level advantage, you get up there at level 10, it's going to be a very pivotal curse. You can really play around with some of those pivot points in terms of just denying access to the opponents. And, well, when you have as big of an advantage as you have, you have the level 10 already, but now you can already add insult to injury by getting out that curse as well. That's could be a really big early game advantage. And it's really up to the teams really past that as well to kind of end the game from there. Sometimes they will drag on a little bit, but who else we got here? Looks like Vala Falstead are going to be joining the Witch Doctor.
Yeah, and that's going to be already a really damaging team. I mean, that's also really good. All of those have really great AoE heroics coming out like once you hit level 10. So we're going to be seeing a lot of AoE. The question is, how are they going to set up that AoE? They don't have a Zeratul to set up that Void Prison for like some sort of wombo combo. They're going to need something like probably like an Uther, or maybe, I don't know. It could be a lot of different things, but they need something to set up those wombo combos, the AoE damage, to really get that tribute.
I was going to suggest Chen in their Storm, Earth, and Fire. Again, pivot points, but he's banned.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, he's banned. That's quite true.
Heroes Hype, though, is definitely setting up for what I call the 2.5. Two assassins and a specialist. Specialist these days, I kind of consider half assassin basically by default, because it's really just Gazva, I guess, who's really not kind of the big assassin, but Sergeant Hammer can definitely lay the damage. Zagara, Nazebo, we're seeing a lot of now. So they're setting up for the 2.5, but they've kind of left themselves a little vulnerable because they don't have their tank or their support. This would be a great point to counterpick from Barrel Boys.
Mm-hmm. Well, they did get the Uther and the Muradin coming out here for Heroes Hype, so they have a really good setup into those heroics. And the question is, what support's going to come out here? I'm actually expecting probably a Brightwing. That Polymorph is going to be so good for stopping one of those channeled ults. So that's going to be really useful for them. I can't really imagine too many other supports are going to be too useful in that situation. But
if I'm reading the chat right, yeah, it was the Uther and the Mirrodin that went with Team Heroes Hype. Right?
Yeah, Team Heroes Hype got it. So
good.
That's going to be that's what I was talking about. Was that
overlay's
Divine
good?
Storm,
Never mind.
Divine Storm is going to hit. Divine Storm's going to hit. All the ults are going to come in at once, and it's possible that Barrel Boys would just be, well, barreled out of the game, but we'll have to see because they have a really strong... Zeratul is actually going to be really good too. Void Prison will break those channeled heroics. Arthas, Tychus, both really tanky heroes, so maybe they can sustain through it is the question, but it's going to be difficult.
We're just waiting on the last pick here.
Yeah, we are waiting on the last pick. It's got to be a support. Malfurion.
Really?
Ooh.
Okay. No fight dog today.
Yeah. You know, I think Rhaegar would be a little bit difficult to go for. He doesn't really have any way to stop those heroics, but Malfurion...
This looks like a silenced Malfurion to me. You said, you know, how are you going to break up those combos, right?
All of those combos are really ranged, so a really good way to deal with ranged damage is to go for the, oh my god, Tranquility. Tranquility is really good for breaking up that ranged damage, sustaining through it, and I think that's what we're probably going to be seeing coming out of Malfurion. They've got a really sustain-heavy composition, but they can't deal with all that burst. I think they're going to go with probably Tranquility on that Malfurion.
If you want, sir, you can go ahead and give them the go-ahead as we're going to jump into this game. I guess we'll find out. 50-50. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be the Tranquility to soak up the damage? Will be the Silence to try to break up the Wombos? Because, you know, again, how do you get rid of some of that range? Well, they got Arthas. They got that. They can stop people. They got Stitches. They got the hooks. And then on top of that, they got the Void Prisons to set up for all this as well. So I'm thinking it's going to be Silence.
You know what? It's actually kind of like half and half. That's what I love about this game. Is it could be like so many different things. So guys, if you're out in the chat, why don't you do us a favor? Throw out a straw poll. I'm really kind of curious to see what the crowd feels like it's going to be of what heroic's going to come out here, and we'll see what you guys think. You know, obviously we've already given our decision of 50-50. So. Yep. Let's see what you guys think too, because I think that's actually a pretty cool interactive thing. Just thinking about what kind of heroic is he going to go for.
Well,
it looks like we got the games going.
Yep. All right. So once again, we're into the Cursed Tunnel here, ladies and gentlemen, and yeah, round of 16. You guys are watching the Go4Heroes Americas. This is the last cup of the year. Can you imagine that the next time that these guys are going to face battle in a tournament setting, it's going to be a whole new year, Mr. Shantu?
2015. The year of the heroes.
The year of the heroes. Yeah, no, it's good. It's a big year for Blizzard. Like, they have so much going on. And, of course, beta is going to be the big first thing. January 13th. Could not really contain my excitement for that. But on the left-hand side here, guys, we've seen them a few times now. These are the Barrel Boys. Base drop up there on the top with the Arthas. We got McIntyre apparently going into the mid right now with the Zeratul. That leaves us with Tychus, the Malfurion, and the Stitches for the party lane bottom. Pierce Fairy, Blinks, and Trummel.
And over here on the right, it's Team Heroes Hype. They've been putting out newsletters, but what kind of news they have for us today? Checks down bottom on Falstad. Taza playing Muradin and the middle lane. Hakfu, Suki, and Pythix playing Nazebo, Uther, and Vala respectively, and they're all hanging out in the top lane. Look like they want to go for a little bit of some damage at the top lane. Base drop is going to get stunned, but nothing really is going to happen.
Yeah, and this is something, I'm not too sure if this was actually Barrel Boys or ESP Wildfire. Last time I was covering a Heroes Cup, we saw really, really big aggression early on one tower. But, of course, that, I think it was actually the Wildfire, but they just went all 5 in one lane looking for that early tower because the towers now give that experience. That's going to be very confusing in future generations when, you know, they didn't have that. But going for that extra boost could really go a long way to solidifying your quick 10 level advantage.
Yeah, and, you know, with that, we already see one tower going down for Heroes Hype at the top lane here. Barrel Boy is going to make a definite repercussion for that. Hakfu is taking a whole bunch of damage. Cursed Fury is going in. Base Drop's going to get a little bit of damage, and the Death Coil is going to finish him off. Hakfu is going to go down for first blood. Could this actually be a second blood? Cursed Fury, oh, the hook just doesn't quite catch, but a very, very good pickup. A good, you know, comeback for losing that first down.
It was a good rotation. Yes. Going with that. So I'm actually a little surprised that Suki wasn't actually just trounced there, but after that, Hook did actually miss. Now, how did we get all those people into the top lane? Well, McIntyre actually came to Autumn. He's now going up against Check, so he's having a heck of a time with it. And that actually left us with Blinks transferring here into the mid. So that's how we were actually able to get that support up here to base drop. But as you said, we've already now lost out a tower, and yeah, level 4. I mean, on both sides. Do we have a Demolitionist on those people? No, it's going to be that Desperate show.
Yeah, their level 1 talents are all pretty standard. Nothing really too crazy coming out from anybody. Malfurion, of course, going for the Conjurer's Pursuit, so he just needs to make sure that he's getting all of those health globes as possible. But everybody else kind of playing pretty standard.
Yep, Bribe on the Falstad, Reverberation on the Mirrodin. We're seeing a lot more Mirrodin these days after that patch. Although I believe he is still technically bugged, but he's not coming in anymore. Good pickup there on the Arthas, got a little bit too far for it. And the towers actually have no ammo into this top lane. But Pythik, Suki, Hawkfu, no, they're not very afraid of this combo. Blinks and Trummel there.
Yeah, that was actually really close. I thought there was actually going to be a kill there, but actually this is going to set up really nicely here for our team, for Battle Boys, because now they're going to have this immediate curse. They're already ready to go. They just have to do a short rotation, whereas Vala had to go back. So Pythix is going to have a little bit of a journey before he's going to get back here. The channel, ooh, very nicely done. Blinks using his body to soak up those spider hits, so it didn't actually interrupt the channel. And very, very nice pickup here from Battle Boys.
Now, McIntyre, he didn't actually leave the lane, so he's still down here. He's soaking. He's not really able to put up any kind of pressure against the Falstad right now because he's Zeratul, and there's very little of really good Falstad can actually fear from a Zeratul in this regard. And now Curse is already, Curse Fury, sorry, is actually back into the mid as well. So the soaking game is back and afoot, but still with that extra experience from that one tower, we are still holding fast here for Heroes Hype.
And you know what's really interesting is that, you know, you were saying that Falstad just couldn't really, Zeratul really couldn't go in against that Falstad. And that's because Zeratul's got that cloak. You know, he's got a lot of advantages, and if he was able to take out a non-cloaky, well, I mean, that would just be poor checks and balances.
But we did hit level 7, and McIntyre is going to use the first aid advantage, actually.
Very, very nicely turn around.
Yeah, you don't barrel roll into a barrel boy. McIntyre is showing you how to do it there, folks. And that was the big problem there. He barrel rolled into it. Yeah. If he had the barrel roll ready to go, that blink wouldn't have meant anything, but a really nice pickup there at the level 7, a very snap kind of judgment. But going for the first aid on the Zeratul means that it's not going to be a rending pool.
Well, so there's still a lot of aggression going on here at the top lane. Both turrets and the gates are down. Base drop is actually trapped against a zombie wall and is going to go down. Blake's now taking a lot of damage. He's going to go down as well. Trummel in a really crazy spot. Curse Fury is going to come in here. They are going to pick up the Uther. But they're already 2% down.
Yeah, and remember, that Uther's still there. Still there.
Is he gonna get the kill? Oh my god!
And during all that, of course, there was this tribute spawned into the top area. Taza was actually able to pick that one up. McIntyre apparently came up top and deleted both of the DPS right by the gate. I didn't actually see that rotation. So Trummel will actually live, and with the help of McIntyre, they are able to take home a lot of the kills. That actually brings them very close to parity with that experience, and with level 10 at the 5-minute mark, I feel like things have been really accelerated in this match.
Yeah, this is absolutely crazy. I mean, both teams hitting level 10 almost perfectly, only one tribute between each of them. This is, everybody's getting so much experience, and you know, we were talking about as soon as the patch came down, was there a change in experience? And I don't actually remember if anybody actually data mined if there was a massive change, but
I'm glad.
So really experienced charged game.
I'm glad I didn't bet you anything. It is going to be a Tranquility on the Malfurion. So Tranquility, we also got Gorge here as well on the Stitches. And top lane aggression is just non-stop. They're going right for that fort. We got the level advantage. They're going to give up this tribute down south, so it will be a 2-1 advantage going for the Barrel Boys. But, you know, they're looking at a dead fort now up top.
You know, that's actually a really interesting thing to note, is that sometimes when you get a tribute, you really only can get about 1 fort. So if you can trade a fort for, when you get a curse, you can sometimes only get 1 fort. But if you're trading a tribute for a fort, that's actually kind of somewhat bad. They do pick up on the Grave Golem being grabbed here. Base drop going in here. Frozen Tempest catching just about everybody. The Shotgun doing so much damage. Here's the Ravenous Spirit. A beautiful Void Prism is going to block out that Ravenous Spirit for the time being. Curse Fury trying to go in here. Suki really low health. Taza now going to go down. Suki's gonna finally fall. He is ghosted. Pythic's gonna run straight on into McIntyre, and the Barrel Boys are barreling through everything of Heroes Hype.
Now, McIntyre is still alive, just at the skin of his teeth. Now, Frayne, however, is going to drop Save there with everyone else. You said that they were barreling through, but I think they hit a full stop because it's going to be a team wipe. Chex is actually going to be the sole survivor of this 9-man kill. But the upswing, Barrel Boys were actually able to take the Golem, and now with the help of its giant buddies, it is going to be laying waste to this top. But still, at what cost, Mr. Shampoo? At what cost? 9 people dead on the back of that.
Man, there was so many people dead on Heroes Hype, and the Falstad player said, hey, that's a cache I can check. And he came in and just cleaned everybody out. Oh, man, that was so good.
That's a cache I can check.
That's a damage. I was thinking about what I was going into my next point. That's a check I can cash.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
Chex here, by the way, all by himself. That's going to be the wormhole coming out there from Zeratul, but it's not going to be enough for Zeratul to finish it off either way. The rest of the team is there, and they go straight for this curse. There goes that counter fort top. But what was the rest of the team doing there? Chex, I guess, thought he had more time in the bank because he did not come down to this bottom grave golem. But it's curse for the Barrel Boys, but there's no defense being noted whatsoever here from Heroes Hype.
Yeah, they are going to grab the grave golem bottom, which is a very good call. I mean, they knew that they weren't going to be able to get that tribute. They needed to put their team somewhere, and where do they have to put them? Grave golem was a really good call. It's going to at least keep that bottom fort pushed and, well, at least alive. However, they have to be really careful right now. There is a keep under attack here by Barrel Boys. They're coming in here. There's a beautiful shotgun all going down here. There's the Tranquility going to keep everybody alive. Curse Fury gets a beautiful hook on Hakmu to stop that Ravenous Spirit. The Gorge does get Hakmu stuck in the middle of the team, and he's going to go down immediately. The Curse has still got 17 seconds left. If they can clean up another 2 members, they could possibly get this keep. Pythic's now taking so much damage from everybody on Barrel Boys, and there is just no sign of this being forced.
Taz is now going to be the one being focused down. That was a great pickup there from the Arthas for that slow and into the almost kill. But at the end of it all, it's only going to be the 2 deaths there for the Hype. And, you know, despite all that, they were able to get that bottom fort because of that Grave Golem that they were able to secure. So they lose out 1 fort, believe it or not. Heroes Hype lost 1 fort in the top gate during the curse, and they were able to take a fort, and they lost 2 lives versus the 0. Could have been a heck of a lot worse.
It could have been. It could have been a lot worse, and oh, man, that keeps just so close to dying. That could have been such a massive advantage. So Heroes Hype is definitely still in this game. It's 16-15 is the only thing that I'm a little bit hesitant about.
Yeah, 16. Yeah, you're right. I mean, having that talent tier advantage is nothing that you really want to take lightly, especially at, God, it's only been 9 minutes. Like level 16 in 9 minutes. This is absolutely nuts, Mr. Tan.
Yeah, this is absolutely crazy. I mean, we're probably going to be going into a really long game. Both these teams are pretty evenly paired. McIntyre going in there, doing a little bit of damage, but does have to back up.
I was looking to see if Stitches was actually going to throw out that hook, and that zombie wall, I saw it go down. It's like, if he's hooked the zombie, like, I'm just done. Like, the foresight of Nazeeba was just on another level. But instead, they're just going to rotate, get out there, a little bit of pressure here into the mid with their Knights, as the rest of Heroes Hype, they're just looking for that 16. They are going to get it there on the top. And let's see, Hardened Focus, Specialized Toxin. So it is going to be a bit more of a fighting Nazeeba with the rewind there, with the Gid Bin. Finally, with the Gid Bin! I've been waiting for so long to see a Gid Bin.
Oh, they could definitely use a mule in this game, though. It looks like actually they chose a little bit of a great advantage to take here, as Heroes Hype was up top dealing with those giant Barrel Boys, forced 5 people onto the fort down bot lane. That was just going to be a free fort out of nothing. I mean, really, they had to defend that push coming down bot lane anyway, and they just took advantage of the fact that that fort was completely vulnerable, and all of Heroes Hype was top. Now Heroes Hype making the same move, trying to push this down, this fort down middle. Can they actually make something? They're a little bit spread out. Curse Fury forces himself into the middle of everything. The slam to deny everything. The shock and awe does some good damage. The Tranquility, though, is going to keep a lot of people alive. Pythic's is going to go down. Hakmu trying to do as much damage as possible. Curse Fury still alive, trying to be taken down, but Malfurion's heal's way too good. Tazza looks like he's going to be the 4th. The fall is Chex going to get out of here. He throws on the... Oh. Just as he almost channels the fall.
So close, but yet so far. 5-man wipe. Yeah, coming in. That tranquility was just such a good call on Mr. Sham too. I will tip my fedora in your direction, and
Tipping intensifies.
level 18,
If
16
enough, it's gonna have to go into a check form.
Yes, I will check that cache one day. There goes that keep up there as well, because there's absolutely no resistance, and when there's nobody to stop you, go for that grave golem, because there is such a massive objective. Like you're not gonna leave it to them. You might as well have it pushing through. You're not gonna have the giants on the back of it here. Pythix is gonna be able to spot it out, but I mean, I just don't think we have either the confidence, the positioning, or the team makeup here, it feels like, from Heroes Hype to kind of deal with the barrel boys.
Oh, it's a little bit scary. Blinks is a little bit far behind. Okay, now he's going to be met up. But this is, one of those situations where Czechs can get a really good shock and all. If they do force an engagement, it looks like they are going to back up. Very, very good call here from Barrel Boys. They knew that they were at a huge disadvantage, because if all of those things hit, they were going to be pretty much obliterated pretty quickly.
Yeah, we are on our race to 20. That is basically the last milestone here in our 12-minute game. Again, it feels very accelerated today. It feels like everything is just going at such a fast pace. Maybe it's just like the holiday, just the holiday eggnog. Gotta get rid of it all. But look at the Barrel Boys right now. 3 sets of Relentless. It's on Stitches, it's on Tychus, it's on Arthas.
Well, they really
can't
need
pin these guys down.
Yeah, well, I mean, you really need to deal with all of the stuns from both Muradin and Uther, and if you can get those stuns off of your hero as soon as possible, it means that you're going to be able to get back up and doing things again. And that's really important, because even half a second matters, because all of the heroics for Vala, for Vala and for Witch Doctor, they're channel over time, and the more time that they're up, the more damage they do. So you need to get those stuns done as soon as possible to get all the damage done and stop it. Pythix now going to get gorged here by Curse Fury. Tazza being stuck in the middle of everything. A really nice Ravenous Spirit to stop Czech from going into her. Pythix in a great spot. Does get cleaned up though. Suki trying to stay alive. He is going to go down. Tazza going to go down, and Hakvu is going to get entangled in some roots. Blinks, though, just barely outside of the Grave Golem slam. That actually might have killed him.
Yeah, the Grave Golem wasn't a big one there, but again, like, I'm looking at just the positioning here, and it really is coming down to the Malfurion. If you can't kill this Malfurion, he's not letting the Heroes Hype kill anybody else on his team at all whatsoever. And this has been repeated, like, fight after fight after fight. Ever since level 10, we've been seeing the dominant nature of this team comp coming out from the Barrel Boys. And, well, Czechs flew up to the top, but once again, loses out to McIntyre. And that is going to be the second curse of the game. And it is going to go to the way of the barrel. And this is frightening.
This is really frightening. 40 seconds until Falsad is back up, and that's where they're going to go straight for this wall. They're going to go around the gate, because the wall has less health than the gate, and they're going to go straight in for this keep, though. They have to be a little bit careful. They have to be a little bit scared, because there are still 4 people up here for Heroes Hype.
There's also a Grave Golem pushing out in the bottom.
Yeah.
That's...
So either way, they win
scary.
here.
Yeah,
I mean, if they don't wipe.
It's looking good. Tazza, however, he's going to be putting up he's going to be putting down his first. I don't know. He's dead. Yeah, let's just put it that way. He's not going to be in this fight anymore. And Uther in the back did get out. Did get gorged, I believe, there. So,
yeah.
So Hakvu's going to drop it. He takes Zeratul to the grave with him. There goes that keep. We still got 20 seconds left on this curse. Taz is going to come back, because apparently the Envenom didn't actually finish him off. There you go. Tazza and that OP regen coming out from the dwarf. And
yeah, I was say, just the last second, his trait actually checked in. Oh my god, Chex does get hooked and immediately demolished.
And Pythix, the tail between his legs, just couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah. I mean, there's not really much you can do against such an incredibly scary, tanky, beefy team. Blink's got his tranquility back up at the last second, and was pretty much able to put the whole entire team back to full. That is going to be a victory, ladies and gentlemen, for Barrel Boys. What just happened? Did you see that? Did that only happen on my screen?
I was totally there.
No, something happened with Blinks, and he immediately, like, ascended into his astral plane form. His whole entire model squished into, like, nothing, and then a giant yellow light exuded from the middle of him. I don't know. Anyway. I guess weird. A glitch on my stream.
I tried to make a victory screen here, and for whatever reason, it's not showing me the team comp that just won.
Oh.
I know. All this effort, and this victory screen is showing Murky 1 for Barrel Boys. I don't know what happened here.
You know what? I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. Murky definitely won.
Either way, Barrel Boys victory with Raynor, Tyrael, Mirrodin, Diablo, and Murky. Congratulations, guys.
Not at all the team comp.
Not at all, not whatsoever. But Barrel Boys, I mean, as I said, we've been seeing them in more and more cups. This is a team that has been together now for, I want to say, multiple weeks at the very minimum. They were in cup number 1, I believe. So, yeah, call it 4 weeks, and now they're going to be moving on here to the round of 8 in the Go4Heroes Americas Cup number 4. Pretty good stuff overall. I mean, you were right with the Tranquility. The Tranquility was just able to AoE heal. We had the double tank and just able to kind of soak up all the damage that they needed to. And the 2.5 just didn't work out that round for the Heroes Hype.
Yeah, I mean, they still had a really strong composition. I think Barrel Boys were just taking perfect advantage of the positional advantages in a lot of different situations. I mean, look at when they were engaging at middle lane. Heroes Hype was kind of like spread out in a weird concave kind of thing, and Barrel Boys just kind of just jumped right on into the middle of it with Stitches, who he threw down this slam, stunned everybody, and then from then the fight was just in their favor. They had some really great positional like wedges that kind of just picked apart Hero Hype's compositional, I guess, advantages.
we need a Space Jam Stitches, so when he puts down the slam, he welcomes you to the jam.
I'm seeing them.
I think that would be great. That would be good to do. Good idea.
Oh no, I'm just seeing the victory screen right now.
Oh yeah. I have to go look at that. But we're gonna go look at that, guys. We're gonna also find you another match, as we got lots of teams all checked in, and we have an entire bracket essentially to ourselves, because I'm not entirely too sure.
Nope, that's it. Just us.
So all right, FourCourt and Sham2 will return as soon as we find out who's gonna be up next. So don't go anywhere.